everyone, Alexandra here. So today we're looking at the Myko Assistant and how you can use it for diverse research use cases in fields such as marketing, sales, HR. I will also show you how I use it. So the way Myko's AI Assistant works is simple. You literally just send an email to a specific address, sophia@mycoassistant.com. You can just go and test it straight away. Just go to try for free on the website. You'll find the website in the description below. And you can start sending these emails like you would send them to a personal assistant. So the first time I heard about this, I actually thought that this person was real, but instead it's an AI assisted assistant if you want. And basically, there's diverse use cases, but specifically, I'm going to show you how you can use them with a couple of hands-on examples. So I think the biggest use case is for lead sourcing. And simply using other tools would be difficult for this because when you're pulling, a list of leads from a multitude of sources, there's just no other tools besides the Myko Assistant that can actually gather info from different places. So I'm going to show you just how this works. So here I have an example I sent where let's just say you want to find the decision makers from a specific marketing department, since I'm a marketer at a specific company. I just chose Asana, the project management tool for this example, from any area of your choice. So notice how you are writing this like you would write them to any other person, or maybe to, a sales assistant, a data analyst on your team, except this is all automated. So let's take a look at kind of what the examples for the leads look like. So we have a list just like this. Of course, it can be, much longer if you use more credits, but for this example, I only used a couple of my credits. So you can see that you get, diverse representatives from the marketing team, including their email, their LinkedIn profile, and in the query that you send to this assistant, to the Myko assistant, Sophia in this case, you can be as detailed as you want to. Now, let me show you what happens when you input the same thing into ChatGPT. So basically, you don't get this, list of leads. Instead, you get the tips on how you can find them manually. So the Myko Assistant goes one step further to actually give you the list and do all of these recommendations on your behalf. Let's just take a look at some other examples. So again, this is related to lead generation, or if in my case, you just want to reach out to, for example, podcast guests. So again, you can just ask the Myko Assistant to share the LinkedIn profiles for the last guests from a specific podcast. And it's important that you mention what you want in that list. So in this case, it's names and some links. So in this case, they chose to give us the LinkedIn profiles, which is handy because you can just contact these people straight away. And there's always a mention of where this source, the information source, comes from so that you can validate this yourself. So for example, you can go to this LinkedIn profile and check if they have this role. You can also check if they were indeed a podcast guest. But from what I've tested, these leads or lists or whatever you ask the tool to send you are always accurate. Now, here's another example where I wanted a list of speakers and their email specifically from a specific summit. And in this case, I have a list of the speakers as well as the emails where they are public. Now, it's important to know that mostly any department, so any professional, can use this assistant. So for example, in the HR space, if you are looking to, recruit certain strong candidates or just find potential candidates for a job that's maybe more difficult to fill, again, you can ask for a list of, let's say, marketing managers in a specific area with a set number of years of experience in a specific industry. And of course, ask for their names, LinkedIn profiles, whatever you want to. And then you will get, the list. Again, depending on how many credits you have, it can be as extensive as you want it. Now, before I move on, I just want to show you kind of how the process works. So you just add in the email for the Myko assistant. The topic can be whatever, so it can be something like event. And then I'm going to ask the assistant to share the event happening in, a specific city, a specific country, whatever, during the next week. So this is like a common use case for anyone. So I'm just going to send this email. And basically, you get an email with, like I said, a list of events happening during a specific time frame, some extra details. If you don't ask for, a link, you have to look these up yourself. Otherwise, you can also just ask for a link directly, and the assistant will always give you like the source of the information as well. I really want to cover some more diverse use cases just so you can see how you apply it to your own role or needs specifically. So it's maybe going to be chaotic because it's just like so many different use cases, but let's get started. So, essentially, one very useful use case, in my opinion, is the ability to find maybe costs, maybe prices for specific services in your area. So, for example, if I want to find local prices for accounting services in the San Francisco area, I could also ask, like I did in this case, for a list of accounting businesses and what they charge. So, this is what it looks like. And the price is, it's just like on their website. It's what's public out there, essentially. A range. So, of course, you still have to reach out to these companies if you want an exact cost. But this will kind of give you like a rough idea of how much you can expect to pay for accounting services or how you need to price your own accounting services. Now, I also like using Myko Assistant to do targeted account research. So if you have a specific lead you want more information on, or if you have a new user who's maybe subscribed to a free plan that you have and you want to upsell them, so you need more information into the way they work, you can again use this assistant to get more information quickly as opposed to doing the research. So I have here a template. In this case, I asked for details on the buffer company, and what you see here is a template you can use to run research into specific companies. So the result is something like this. And as you can see, you also have like the source for every single bit, so you can validate this yourself just in case you're concerned. Yeah, so again, this template specifically is going to be in the description below, so you can use it for researching companies, people, and so on. I also have here another use case that digs a bit deeper into the costs that certain platforms have. So for example, if you want to post an ad on a specific website and you want to calculate the return on investment, Myko Assistant can help you do that. So in this case, the scenario is this. If I post a job on Glassdoor and spend $10 a day, how many unique clicks from an applicant can I get each day? The result is literally taking into account the pay-per-click model they have and just like general industry data. And then it's doing the calculations based on an average cost per click so that you can get an idea of how many clicks you would get for that job ad. Then right now for me, I'm working on a new YouTube video where I'm going to essentially talk about how brands use YouTube. One of the things I'm interested in, just because I need to do more research into this, is finding a couple of SaaS companies that have a YouTube channel, right? This is what Myko Assistant does. It gives me all of the SaaS companies that have a YouTube channel. And I can literally just go from here and check out the channels and do my research, or I can follow up with Myko Assistant to get in more detail with a specific channel. Here's a use case I use as a marketer. So I asked Myko Assistant to share 10 examples of SaaS companies and mention the marketing strategies they use to grow and get their first users. And I also mentioned that I definitely want info on Notion. So, the more details you give, the more accurate and helpful the reply that Myko Assistant gives you is going to be. So in this case, again, I have a list of the companies, the marketing strategy they used, and the source for this. Another way in which I use the tool is to see which companies, in my case, SaaS companies, received funding in the past 2 months. So normally you need to get expensive tools that would show you this information, but instead you can ask Myko Assistant, and what it does is it pulls from a bunch of places, including news outlets, so you don't have to do the research yourself, and you don't have to pay, a lot of money to get a list of leads essentially. So you will get, depending on how many credits you want to spend on this, you will get a list of potential companies that you could work with. If you want more detail, again, you can be more specific and ask for companies in a particular industry, like HR, for example. Now, here's a quick secret from me. I recently used Myko Assistant to find some of the latest statistics. For me, this was difficult to do because the statistics you find online, if you just run a simple query, are outdated in a lot of cases. So you need to dig deeper to find the latest research. So I specifically asked for facts or statistics about a topic from studies and reports that are no older than 1 year. So I got just that. And these were perfectly usable and they were all accurate and really from reports that were no longer than 1 year, which is what I was after. If you go to mycoassistant.com and you scroll down, you can actually see how other real companies use the tool. So you can find inspiration, but really it helps with anything. So whatever research you want to run, it's going to help you with that. And, besides finding you leads, helping you with web scraping, helping you with just any kind of research, you can also use it at an enterprise level. If you have an internal database in Salesforce, Snowflake, you name it, the tool, aka the assistant, can actually run queries in it and just run deeper research into your databases, even if they are internal. And you should definitely also check out the Myko AI website, which is the main tool. So the Myko Assistant is a tool that stems from this main tool. And the main tool will also help you connect to your CRM, Slack, Microsoft Teams, and so on. So you can do so much more internally as well. But it depends. Like in my case, I only use the Myko Assistant because I don't work that much as part of a team. So I mostly just need information from the World Wide Web. So really, this is it for today. If you have any question, I always recommend reaching out to their customer support team first. But if you do need some maybe ideas for running your queries, like some prompts and so on, you can also drop me a comment in the description below. Again, you will find the link to Myko Assistant as well as the template for target user research or company research, whatever you want to call it, in the description below. And I will see you next time. Have a great rest of the day.